Centipede Press does put out books that could be considered works of art. They're more expensive editions. Ones like the Frankenstein, or ones like Ghost Story. Those are wonderful. I've got other ones on another case that are just massive editions, big books that are very well constructed. They're just beautiful works of art. But sometimes Centipede puts out actual art books as well. That's what I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to talk about the art of Gervasio Gallardo. Now, I took the dust jacket off because I wanted to show you how the boards match the dust jacket. They're exact duplicates, front and then the back. It's beautiful. I love having illustrations on the cloth boards. Who is Gervasio? Well, he was an Italian illustrator, an artist. And I didn't know who he was until Centipede was announcing that they were putting this book out, because I didn't know who he was. That's just how it is. And I found out that, yeah, he did a lot of book covers for Ballantine books. And he just did a lot of art illustrations for magazines, advertising. And this book is an 11 by 11 edition, which is very well constructed. The paper is glossy, which does help with the illustrations. And there's a sewn-in ribbon page marker, which I do like, even though I typically just stick them in a certain page and I use a bookmark, because that's just who I am, how I do it. But this book is a very, very nice edition. It's beautiful because it contains an introduction. So it goes into who he was, who is Gervasio? Where did he come from? That kind of stuff. It's just a little bit of some background information, and it kind of tells you how he was important, what impact he had as an artist. So I think the introduction is very well done. It's a very good one. And then you cover the book covers. That's going to be, over 70 pages of book covers. Very beautiful. And then you got magazine and editorial work. That's going to be about 26 pages. Then you've got about 30 pages for advertising. And the advertising is pretty creative. It's just basically advertising products. And they're pretty unique. But his most unique artwork will be the part 4 of the book. It's called Fine Art and Other Work. It's very creative. I'm going to show you a couple of the pictures. If I can find them here, I know one of them I have to show you for the advertising is the picture of the Chiquita bananas. It's so funny. I don't know what would be used for advertising, because I'm not in that, but you know how advertising, you have to be pretty creative to try to sell products. Well, he's advertising Chiquita bananas here. You've got 2 bananas with their peels off as they are under the covers in a bed. That's pretty funny. Come on. And then he advertises that classic orange flavored liqueur. I like that. Very tasty. So he's got a bunch of pages for that. Just a lot. Pretty unique. And everything is well done. He has his own style. The book covers themselves, let's go back to the first section of the illustrations. You have sections where you might have the original painting on one side, like right here. And then on this side, you've got the actual book cover laid out flat. So you got the back and the spine and the front, which is pretty cool. I prefer to have the whole painting, but it's kind of cool to see it with the book, with the title and the author and anything on the cover. So it's pretty cool. Usually you have a description of when the book was released, and it's just a very, very well constructed book as far as what's in there for content along with the materials used. But the last section, the art that he did, just his miscellaneous paintings, they're very unique. And they're very original. I've never seen anything like this. A lot of pictures of people with heads of birds and other objects. You know, yeah, the wing of a butterfly for that person's head. Very unique pictures. Here's a picture of a head of a frog on a human's body. Very unique. Very interesting. I would go through this in the future, and here's a picture of a shell for someone's head. It's just unique. There's a lot to look at and a lot to admire. Just in the picture in the background, looking at all the butterflies and the clouds, and it's just the waves of the ocean. There's a lot to admire, and you can really stare at a picture. I can look at a picture for a long time, looking at all the detail, how everything could contrast each other, and looking at all the small details. I think this is a very, very, very good book. I think it's definitely worth my money. I believe there are copies still available at Centipede Press. And if you're a fan of beautiful pictures, I think it's definitely worth a gamble. So maybe you should go and check out their website and see if you can still get a copy. It is something to go back and admire again, like any art book, like any book in general. It's easy to forget some of the stuff that you really fell in love with. It's good to go back and look at that. Yeah, you can look at some of his pictures. Maybe his artwork is available online, but you're going to look at that online on a screen? No. The only way to really admire fine art or illustrations, the only way to really admire and take in a beautiful picture is either in person or on paper. That's how I feel, at least. Something you can actually touch or, look at close without looking through a screen, which changes how it is. So there you go. Check it out.